right, our special guests right now, Wayne Campbell, Garth Elgar, Wayne's World. All right. Talking about Waynestock. Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a big concert at Adlai Stevenson Park.
Uh-huh.
It's just going to be a big party, you know. We got some great bands coming.
Uh-huh.
Like Aerosmith?
Uh-huh.
I just want to remind everybody that there's still plenty of tickets left.
Uh-huh.
But that's no reason to wait till the last minute.
Uh-huh.
Because it's just a chance for the city of Aurora
To do something.
Uh-huh.
fun
Uh-huh.
and to put the city on the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, well, work is hard.
You're not really listening to me, are you?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could say anything right now, like, you're a complete tool.
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't hear it, 'cause you're a freak with a microphone.
Uh-huh.
It's not even challenging anymore. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Isn't that true, Sphincter Boy?
Uh-huh. What? Oh! They're getting closer all the time. All right, good information about Waynestock. Very exciting. We'll be back with more right after Pig Sports. Right now, it's 16 minutes past the big hour. Is that not right, Mr. Scream? Great, good stuff. I think people are getting really cranked.
22-minute podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines. Stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is your local freak with a microphone. I am sitting across the table here from Mike Finley.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, Mike, tell me, so how did you decide to name your daughter Scout?
How did I decide to name her?
Uh-huh.
Well, I was a sophomore in high school
Uh-huh.
in Miss B's English class,
Uh-huh.
who loved squirrels, and she read the story, or we read the book in class.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah. You're not really listening to anything I'm saying, are you?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, it took a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
and then,
work is hard.
And then, I guess we just threw it down. I just knew that at some point, geez.
Uh-huh. Well, hey, that's great information about the name of your daughter, Scout. It's the top of the hour. We'll be back after Pig Sports.
Pig Sports.
He said.
I know. It's so good.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. So, yes, turning 81 today is Mr. Harry Shearer. Hilarious in so many things, but we're a radio show, so or we're a podcast. We're an audio broadcast.
Audio broadcast.
So yes,
It's wild that he's turning 81.
it makes sense. I mean, he was in Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
So it makes it. But yes,
Well, just thinking about time, I guess. Just
Absolutely.
like, jeez.
well, there was another birthday that put it in pretty good perspective coming up later this week. I'm sure we'll get back into it. But yes, I mean, just realizing, turning 38 today, Noelle Wells, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's done a lot of like voice work since, but yes, she I remember her from one of those last seasons of SNL that I really dedicated myself every week to watching over a decade ago. And yes, she's turning 38. I mean, she's always been a little bit older than us, but yeah, she was 27 or something. You know what I mean?
No, right.
You're right, man. And now we're having dad and uncle talk. Time sure does fly, doesn't it, Mike?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, anyway. All right. So, shared a little Mr. Scream, and I can't remember what Harry Shearer's radio DJ handle was, because it was like Mr. Face, and it was like Mr. Face and Mr. Scream, and that was part of the bit in Wayne's World 2 is they saw what Mr. Scream looked like. They didn't know it was Mr. Scream. They just saw this guy, and they were like, oh, that's got to be Mr. Face, because he's beautiful. I can't remember who plays him, but he's you'd recognize him.
I haven't watched that in so long. I need to now, just for that scene.
I mean, I actually think that's one where the sequel is just as good as the original, because it's a comedy. So I guess it's not the hardest thing to do. I recently rewatched Anchorman 2, and that's hilarious.
I've never watched Anchorman 2.
It's hilarious.
And as much as I absolutely loved the first Anchorman, I never watched the second one.
Well, it's just as slapstick, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know what I think is the most fun about it is knowing, I don't know. I guess it doesn't hurt my experience in being like, look at Paul Rudd be a ridiculous asshole. You know, it's just like he's so, and I just love that he's committing and like he really is the better Mark Ruffalo when it comes down to it. Paul Rudd. Just my opinion.
What would the world be like if he was in 13 going on 30, you know?
I mean, he was in Clueless, so
Yeah, that's right.
definitely not the same story, but you know, he had his teen drama. You know, he was doing like Broadway at Paul Rudd. I remember reading.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he was like doing Broadway when he got cast in Clueless, and that became his.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's just been doing a lot for a long time. That's why the joke is, you know, him being ageless is because he was on Broadway in his early 20s kind of thing. You know?
Right.
So, and that happened to also be like late 80s, early 90s or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Clueless was like earlier 90s.
Yeah, 93,
That
92,
sounds right.
93.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
sounds right.
it's it could be 94. I don't know. Was Kurt Cobain alive? Did Kurt Cobain see Clueless?
That's how I base
Right.
timelines in the 90s. Was
94.
Kurt still alive?
Was Kurt there?
What was Kurt doing?
Tell me. Okay. Yes, so on this day, December 23rd, Christmas Eve, Hansel and Gretel, the opera. Wait, didn't we do this already?
No, that was last week was a different one.
You just love these operas, bro.
Well, they pop up, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put
you
this down.
gotta add it. See, they pop up, but you add them.
I do. No, it's true. I make it a point.
Same thing. Hey, we got Cinderella.
Mhm.
You know, you're just in that space. You know, you got a little girl.
Yeah,
And you're like, yeah, Disney and stuff.
but I think this is prior to even Disney's.
But it's but our association
Sure.
through space and time. You know, our journey on this pizza rotating around the sun, just full of all
Inspector
different.
Space-Time, yes.
Exactly. The endless toppings that we are. Maybe I'm a pepperoni. Maybe you're a sausage.
I like pineapple too.
I do like pineapple on pizza. I don't understand why that was a meme 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, not a meme in the sense of like a specific meme.
But
of
people like hating on it.
Well, a meme is an inside joke when it comes down to
Okay.
it. It's a piece of culture when it comes down to it. You know, a meme in Russia you wouldn't understand. I think I've said this before. Not just the language barrier, but also just
culturally speaking.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So, whatever. And so that's what it was. That's what any sort of, you know, we talk about hype. That people love to overhype things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what hyping something is joining in on one specific kind of action,
Sure.
observing something, interacting with something. And in its own way, the way that hype has been created into almost that kind of like physical thing through the internet, where like we can immediately respond to something.
Instant gratification.
Now we train our brains, like that's why I think it's so specific to the internet, is because like what's the meme of the day? Maybe that's not a picture of a cat with a funny caption that I get because I'm from Texas or something. It's you know, I don't know, you know, but yeah, it's instead it's ideas, and we're so eager to, because it's the same kind of dopamine. I remember seeing a clip of like a kid who was just so mad that his favorite meme, he was like 6 or something, and his favorite meme creator, like, when is he gonna drop the memes today? And then he drops them and he blasts through them in like 30 seconds, and he's just pissed that there's not more memes. You know,
That's wild. That's wild. That's the world now.
could have been rage bait. You know what I mean? Could have been fake. I don't know. It
Could have been rage bait.
well, yeah, you know, just like, look at these kids on the internet today. You know what I mean? You never know.
More dad uncle talk.
It could be. Listen to this old man falling for this child on the internet. That was AI. No, I don't know. It was years ago. It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't AI, because it was. I saw this video a long time ago. I mean, maybe not a
It's
decade
really fucking
ago.
funny. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Okay.
We got to talk about Cat Stevens converting to Islam in 1977.
Did you put that?
Yeah, I did, and I put that down, and then it's so funny because like when we were writing the list, I think tomorrow's, whenever we get to it, it'll check out, and then I was just like, oh, that's so fucking funny, and I thought that's what the one you were gonna talk about too.
Yusuf Islam. How does he? I don't like talking about Islam.
I don't know why I know
Uh-huh.
Cat Stevens. For the longest time, I thought he
He's a
sang
singer.
Cats in the Cradle.
Oh. I bet a lot of
His
people.
song.
I
No,
bet a lot of people made that
so many
mistake.
people make that mistake.
Yeah. It's one of those things that definitely it's like a playground thing where like, yeah, one person says it and you're like 8 years old and it just sticks in your brain. Dude,
Yeah,
I'm telling
Juicy Fruit
you,
is the best gum for sure. Somebody said it on the playground. It's got to be true.
I'm a 6-year-old and I'm uncomfortable with confrontation, so I will simply agree with you and ignore my love of Big Red. That was me on the playground. Like, I honestly just don't even want to
chew my Big Red in secret.
But I don't chew
knows.
gum. I've never chewed gum.
No, I know. Oh, you know what? I was actually thinking about that this morning because
Yeah.
you never ate like cold cereal.
No.
Yeah, because of like
I don't
Scott and I
eat
had
cereal.
like cereal this morning for breakfast, and I thought about it. I was like, oh, you know, Wes never had cereal. Like,
Nope.
That was never a part of
Tried
his
I
upbringing.
tried to put a Fruit Loop in my mouth once, and I was like, gross.
I absolutely love cereal. I also absolutely love gum too.
Most people do. Most
Yeah.
people do. Yeah.
But like you never chewed gum because like you had braces early on, and they told
No,
you very specifically not to chew
kind
gum.
of. Yeah, quick. I had a cavity when I was like 4, and I went in, and they were like, "We're just gonna pull this tooth, and we're gonna put a spacer in."
Oh yeah.
So the baby teeth don't move over. In an odd way, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And so because of that spacer, they told my parents like he can't chew gum, and I had that spacer in, man, until I got braces. My teeth just, I mean, they had to remove 6 or 7 teeth in the front of my mouth because my teeth just like didn't want to move and didn't want to fall out, you know.
Forever baby teeth. That's fun.
Yeah, so they pulled a bunch of those out, and so yeah, I mean it hadn't grown in yet, but they put, I was like, you know, well, because I got top braces when I was like 12,
Okay.
and that's when I got the Herps device, the Herbs device put in. It's
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like a couple hinges in your mouth.
yes.
And then I got that removed whenever I got bottom braces put on. I had some form of braces going on in my mouth from the age of from 12 to 18.
Jeez.
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, no,
And-
I would hate it too. Jesus.
And I've made some mistakes on the dental hygiene front because of that. Because
Mm.
I just, you know, I don't remember it enough now. Like,
Sure.
Yeah, so it's not like it traumatizes me anymore. Because I need to go to the dentist. Hey guys, I'm a clown with bad teeth. How you doing? So yeah, no, I am. It's gonna be interesting. Like it's probably gonna be a lot worse than I realize. Like the whole experience. But also I'm gonna be like numb every time.
Yeah.
Just numb everything. Like whatever.
As soon as you step into the lobby, hi, can I get some like Novocaine?
Yeah, Novocaine right in the back there.
Just go ahead and put it in.
Yeah. So yeah.
No cold cereal, no gum.
Yeah, so that's the thing is you know, by the time I was old enough to be like, well, I'm gonna have gum if I want it, I just didn't want it.
Yeah, no,
And-
for sure.
And then they took the braces off when I was 18, and at that point, you know, I became aware like, oh, I guess if I wanted to chew gum now I could, and I just didn't want to.
Right.
So yeah. And I just haven't since, and now it honestly now it's gross. Now it is pretty gross. The way most people chew it is gross.
No, for sure.
And then also just the idea that I'm having this thing in my mouth for a long time
Sure.
is gross. But maybe that's also because I have a gross mouth.
Sure. Everybody does.
Well, welcome to my gross mouth.
Speaking of gross mouths, turning 22 today, Finn Wolford.
I appreciate you saying that because what I was going to ask you, yes, this is what's his name, Mike
Yeah, Mike.
from Stranger
From
Things.
Stranger Things.
I just would not be surprised
Uh-huh.
if in like 6 years he had some allegations.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. Like, there's people that you have on the list that you might be surprised where you'd be like devastated.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that you'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. You
So
know?
you wouldn't be surprised if he'd
no,
had some.
there's something about him.
Okay.
He just seems kind of smarmy. You know, so, like honestly, I don't know, like his like, oh, I'm in a band and stuff. Like,
Is he in a band?
He is. He
Oh.
makes some kind of music. I don't know.
Have you listened to it?
Maybe I just don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have. I don't remember. I mean, yeah.
I gotta
don't
see
know.
if I can find this now, but like open it in like a private tab so it doesn't
Right,
fuck
doesn't
with my
affect your
algorithm. Yeah.
100%.
It's wild that like that's the world. I'm cognitive of my algorithm. I don't want things to
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
pop up.
Shelby says all the time, like I will only send him stuff to listen to on YouTube. Like that's because he does.
You know, people will send me like songs on fucking Spotify, and I
Right.
will definitely.
You're like,
I can't,
bro.
unless I listen to it and I actually do like it. Then sure.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like I don't want other things being introduced.
Yeah,
into
just do
my
YouTube.
goop.
I'm fine with my YouTube algorithm being trash. Like that's totally fine
Yeah.
with me. honestly.
And that's an easy algorithm to just
Reset.
bypass. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you can actually reset all those algorithms too. But anyway,
Delete cookies and
sure. Well, no, I think there's a set that for sure. But I think there is like a setting in most of those websites, applications, whatever.
you can just like
that you
delete
can-
the cache or whatever.
Yeah, like, hey, literally, I think they understand people are aware enough. Like, I want to reset my algorithm. But, I forgot. Speaking of algorithms, I forgot to tell you, I mentioned the Instagram, the 22-minute podcast Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot to tell you that, yeah, pretty much what I do with that is I just talk shit.
Nice.
So, yeah. Hopefully, and it's definitely more, it's stuff like, they respond with like, why don't you go back to your shitty podcast? I'm like, okay, thanks for listening. Yeah, tell everybody.
Is this Belgium? Is Belgium talking to us?
No, these are just like, because I'm commenting on just hundreds of things.
Oh, okay.
At
I see.
At certain points. So it's really just random
Gotcha.
people on different posts.
Gotcha.
Where most of the time I'm just like disagreeing with what's happening, and I'm like, this is dumb, or whatever. One of my comments definitely was simply, "Hey algorithm, no thank you," like, how do I turn this off? And it's fun. It's like all my shit gets likes, which is hilarious.
Well, people like bits,
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just a bit.
Yeah.
All of this is a bit.
100%.
But then people do get mad.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck you. Or just like, why don't you tell that to your 2 listeners? And I'm like, well, they're my friends, so they know.
Yeah, no, right.
They already know.
We've already talked about it.
like, why do you think you really shouldn't care what I think? I don't understand why you think I would care what you think. Because I'm just doing bits. I don't know.
We're all trying to have fun. We're all trying to do things, but it's a little more disheartening when people take things way too
well, especially on like
seriously.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
a social media.
Especially
like,
through a social media platform. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if we get any negativity to start, it's because I'm out there. It's out there dropping truths, dropping truths, and people can't take it. People don't want to hear the truth. Was this the day? On this day, and this is an important note. On this day in 1938, the Wicked Witch's costume catches on. The Wicked Witch of the West's costume caught on fire on the set of The Wizard of Oz. That's real, y'all. And you know why? It's because the spirit of what's her name, Elphaba. Wasn't there yet. They hadn't put respect on her name at that
That's
point.
right.
So the essence of Elphaba was coming through, punishing, having her say nearly, 70 years before the book was written.
Yeah.
About Elphaba. I haven't seen Wicked. Did you see Wicked?
Yeah, I did.
Was it good?
I'm a fan.
Okay. All right.
We actually watched
I want to not like it, but I trust you.
You know what? Like,
I've not seen it.
So we actually took Scout to go see the musical that came through. I think we were
that would
February
be awesome.
or something.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the story, and especially like being a part of production of The Wizard of Oz. Like,
yeah, sure.
Nothing about it. Going and watching it, I instantly fell in love, and I think it might be like one of my favorite musicals.
It's a tough one where it's like, I do get pretty tired of the like, oh, the bad guy's actually sympathetic, but
sure,
this was done before film and TV started really latching onto that trope.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like judge the story of Wicked because it really kind of was one of the first mainstream stories that did that.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. I hope it just does more than that.
Yeah.
Because I'll be very bored if it's just like, see how we should be. Oh, look, this is who she really is. Is it? Oh, and now she has these problems, and we have to address that people perceive her differently.
Well, she is green.
Okay, then tell the story about Kermit the fucking Frog. I don't care.
He married a pig.
That's not. Oh, a literal pig. Okay, I respect Kermit, and I just really didn't need you talking about his wife that way. But I did forget that she was a literal pig. I was gonna have to call my friend Kermit, man.
Hey, Kermit, what's here? Ah, jeez.
Yeah, that's a load off my back. I apologize for misunderstanding that to not just you, but to myself as well. So, Sorry,
Apology
Wes.
accepted. Don't worry.
I also accept.
My own apology.
Yes. Born on this day, now dead, Corey Haim.
Corey Haim.
I don't remember what he. I guess he was in Lost Boys, but like, he was one of the Coreys. I don't remember
Yeah.
what they like all were in or whatever, or like what made them. Oh, you know what I do
There were
remember
like 3
him?
movies together. Like
Yeah.
Drive something or something or.
Yeah, well, you know what I actually do remember him from is Lucas. He was the titular character in Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah, I can't remember who the with the like love interest. Lucas is interesting because it's a movie about a nerd. I think is it Josh Brolin? It might not be Josh Brolin, but it's just a nerd who has a crush on kind of the popular girl, and they're friends. It's like that's kind of like a different dynamic. They're friends, but she obviously is going for the jock. And I don't even know that I've seen the whole movie. I just remember seeing a bit of it like as a kid on cable or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucas just kind of explains like, hey, listen, like it's natural for one side of the species to be attracted to the dominant,
Sure.
successful, attractive, because that's going to create better offspring. Very kind of, just like clinical way of saying like, I'm not upset that you're not attracted to me. I understand why you would be more attracted to Josh Brolin there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know if it's Josh Brolin, but that's interesting. I'm sure like it eventually like gets past that point where maybe I don't know. It's probably a bullshit movie where like the Last American Version is a terrible movie by Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But it does end with him not getting the girl and like the girl going with the asshole.
Yeah.
Which probably doesn't happen as much now in the same way that it did in the 1980s and 70s and shit like that, when it was more like the oh hey,